4 years and 3 months. According to the climate clock, that is the time left to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels until irreversible climate damage occurs.
We know that now, more than ever, is the time to take action. Climate change is not a distant threat. It is here in our rising seas, extreme weather, and increasing loss of species. But how can we communicate the urgency to act?
Data, models, and statistics can always represent the issue and how we can fix damage caused by climate change. But pure data doesn't encourage people to care, and passion for enacting change forms the foundation of action.
Our organization, Roots4Change, was born in an effort to foster and kindle every individual's sense of love for the environment, targeting the most influential group of people, the youth. We know that this passion for conserving our climate exists within all of us, but at times it may be difficult to actually take steps to strive towards that goal.
We use graphics, posters, and pieces of art to visualize the effects of climate change and how they vary for different communities. In our organization, it is equally valuable to instill a desire to affect change and execute projects planting mangroves. We need to make the climate a part of people's stories, as conservation needs to be interdisciplinary. The way we talk about their environment is just as important as the way we measure it. People protect what they feel connected to.
We believe in action, not just awareness. Our initiative is about community-led mangrove restoration, empowering local people in vulnerable coastal communities, especially young people, to plant and protect these forests.
Across only a few months, we have planted 10,000 mangroves within vulnerable coastal areas in Batangas. We have worked with fishermen, fellow students, and activists who now see themselves as mangrove conservationists, dedicated to maintaining our beautiful local environment.
We are navigating uncharted territory, not just in climate conservation, but in who leads it. Young people who refuse to wait for permission to create change. Every tree we plant represents the youth taking root, where young people no longer wait for leadership, but evolve into active leadership. Every project we carry out further inspires and empowers young people into creating change.
With each project, we further explore the unknown, where environmental activism meets youth leadership. But as we see the change enacted by other members of our generation, like Greta Thunberg, Mitzi Tan, and Isa Barte, we are impelled to take action ourselves. Through every mangrove we plant, we hope that we can inspire others, especially the youth, to help the fight against climate change as well.
With every project we carry out and every mangrove we plant, we strive towards the goal of redefining what activism means. Conservation isn't only about knowing the facts. It's about making people feel connected to the world we're trying to protect. We must recognize that the way we talk about the environment is just as important as the way we measure it. Environmental conservation must have a multi-dimensional approach to enact change, foster a passion for activism, and inspire the new generation of environmental leaders.
Economic calculations and data quantifying loss and damage caused by climate change is a tool in streamlining change. Without economic calculations of loss and damage, we cannot truly appreciate what we have lost. The damage wreaked by increasingly frequent and strong typhoons can easily be approximated through seeing news of countless destroyed houses and interviews of victims, but photos and videos alone can never truly tell the full impact climate change has inflicted.
Economics goes hand in hand with art, data, and storytelling. Art allows us to appreciate and experience environmental damage as if it were firsthand. That's why we created the Roots4Change art competition and exhibit, to bring conservation to life through visual storytelling. Art makes people stop and think, starting real change.
If we change the story, if we show that solutions really do exist, then we create hope. Stories have the power to shift perspectives. That's why we use writing, filmmaking, and digital media to tell the story of conservation in a way that inspires action. The best way to change the future is to change the way we talk about it.
Technology streamlines activism and impact. We use AI and photogrammetry to map coral reefs and mangrove forests, tracking changes over time and the effects of conservation projects. This allows us to prove their impact. That's why we use natural capital accounting to show that protecting ecosystems isn't just good for nature, it's good for people too. By using technology, we're making conservation more measurable, more scalable, and more impactful.
It's about bringing science, art, and storytelling together to inspire action. Each of us brings something different to this movement. Chinee works with technology, I use art to make people see what's at stake, and Mireya tells the stories that bring it all to life. Because we believe that the next generation of conservationists won't just be scientists. They'll be artists, storytellers, and technologists working together.
There's a proverb which says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the next best time to plant a tree is now. The climate clock keeps ticking, and we no longer have the luxury of waiting.
The time to act is now. Conservation needs all of us, with our own unique skill set. We all have a duty to fulfill in the journey for a greener and cleaner future.
So together, let's take root. Thank you.